Morning everybody, and welcome to my first impression video, and we are going to test out Giorgio Armani's newest addition to the foundation range of Giorgio Armani Beauty, and that is the Power Fabric Foundation. And this in verbatim is a long wear high cover foundation. It has SPF 25, and in case you guys are wondering, I'm in shade number 9. Now, when I do foundation reviews and when I do first impressions, I normally don't use any primer. I just make sure that I put on a lot of moisturizer. And since I just got off of the flu and I'm still not 100%, because I've been blowing my nose like 100 times a day, my nose area and even the sides of my mouth, they're still pretty dry. So that's the only thing I have pre-foundation. So let's see how this thing works, and I'll take you in on my day with a few check-ins to see how the foundation wears throughout the day. So guys, before we do the foundation application, let me just read off of the website and what this foundation claims to do. So basically, Power Fabric combines full coverage with an ultralight formula, and upon application the texture melts into the skin, effectively blurring imperfections with an incredibly lightweight matte veil that feels like you're not wearing makeup at all. So this is a very tough claim, especially if it's a high coverage and long wear foundation. So let's see how this thing works. And as usual, you know, the bottle is very elegant, comes with a typical Giorgio Armani logo. I like to just put a pump on the back of my hand, and I normally like to do my T-zone. Here. Now, I always say that it's always just good to start with a little foundation, and then if you want to add a little bit more, then you can add a little bit more. It's always easier to add than to remove foundation. So what I like to do when I apply my foundation, especially liquid ones, I love Sigma's kabuki brushes because they're dense and they really buff the foundation onto the skin. And what I normally like to do is I start from the forehead going down, so that any excess, if there are any, you can just blend it towards, you know, like if you want to put a little bit on the neck and all that good stuff, right? So let's start here. Now, it doesn't have any scent. I don't know, maybe because I can't smell that well, but I don't detect any scent at all. And it doesn't feel tacky. Yeah. And feels lightweight. Now, I mean, this is the kind of texture that I like with foundations. It does feel like skin, and it's not it doesn't feel heavy at all too. So guys, I'm loving this. Not because I'm a huge fan of Giorgio Armani, but I think it is full coverage. It still looks like my skin. I think that this foundation is absolutely buildable. You can see. Yeah. Let's add a little bit more. Now, guys, whenever you put on your foundation, I mean, people are not just going to look at you, you know, straight up. People are going to be looking at you on the side to make sure that your foundation is blended well. think it's beautiful. It doesn't feel heavy, and you guys saw how I look like before the foundation, and you know, I don't even think I need concealer under my eyes. What do you guys think? So why don't I just complete the rest of my face, and then I'll get back to you and we'll see how it all blends out, and I'll take you in on my day as what I said earlier. See you! Hi guys, I'm back. So this is my full face done. It's not really a full face because I'm not wearing any eyeshadow. Like what I said earlier, when I was just applying the foundation, I felt like I really liked it. But again, let's go through the entire day and see how the foundation wears. Like what I said, I didn't put any primer, and I also didn't put any finishing spray, just to see and test the longevity of the foundation. And I'll take you in throughout the day with a few check-ins, and I'll give you my final thoughts when the day ends. So from my home to yours, mwah, have a nice day, and I'll see you all later. Bye! So it is 12:30, and just to show you what time it is, it's 12:32, and it's been 3 hours since I applied the foundation, and so far it's looking very good. Still fresh, not cakey at all. So I'll do another check-in in the afternoon just to show how it looks like. 4:20 in the afternoon, and I just parked. I did a few errands, and I am loving the new foundation from Giorgio Armani. It does cover, it feels light, but I think my skin looks amazing. I know I'm shiny on some areas, but it's not something that bothers me. I haven't had the time to touch up, and although I didn't really subject the foundation to a lot of stuff, maybe I'll go and work out in the evening, let's see. But all in all, I'm loving this foundation. But let's do one final check-in, and I'll give you my final thoughts before the end of the day. I'll see you guys. Bye! Good morning, because it is morning already. It is, time check, 1:48 in the morning. So this foundation has lasted from 9 a.m. until 1:48 a.m. And as you guys can see, it did not settle on any fine lines on my face. I know I look shiny, but this is not something that bothers me. I think this foundation would have performed a lot better if I had primed my skin and if I had used a setting spray. But then the purpose of not using those two is to test the longevity of the foundation, and I think it performed really, really well. For the price point, I think it's absolutely worth it. And I'm just not so sure if there are shades deeper than number 9, because I'm using number 9, and I think that's like one of the deeper shades that they have. Am I going to be using this as opposed to the Makeup Forever HD stick foundation? Perhaps I will, because this foundation is like, it does cover really well, but it does feel like second skin. So I'm going to try the foundation again with a primer and using a setting spray, and of course I will report back to you guys, and I will include that in my first impressions slash review of the product. So I am just about ready to remove all of this makeup and go to bed. I'm training tomorrow morning at 10:30, so I'll see you all soon. Mwah. Bye. Going to be testing Giorgio Armani's Power Fabric using a setting spray, using a primer, and let's see if it lasts the whole day. We're going to be exploring Ras Al Khaimah, so the foundation is going to be subjected to a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping and praying that it's going to yield the same results as to when I did not use a primer and a setting spray. So today we're going to be using L'Oreal's Nude Magique. It's a blur cream as a primer, and then I'm going to be using Skindinavia's the makeup finishing spray oil control to set the foundation after. So let's get on. Just gonna be using. I'm just gonna be using a primer. Oh, by the way, I've already moisturized my face. We're just gonna be applying the primer. Okay. Just check the bottle. This is not even a pump of foundation. I think it's just half a pump. As usual, it's on the back of my hand. And then we're going to be applying on the T-zone and just spread it outwards. And here. Now that I can actually smell better, guys, there is really no scent to this foundation, so it's good for those women who are not exactly fond of fragranced makeup. And like what I always say, you can always add a little bit more if you wish. So let's add a little bit more just to cover the sides of the face. Blend it, guys, don't forget. Guys, like my first video, it covers really well. Very blendable, it still looks like my skin. So now I'm going to be putting on concealer off camera, and then I'll come back when my whole face is set, and I'll talk to you guys later. So I am back and I have my full face on, and just in case you're wondering, for concealer I used my Pro Conceal and Correct palette in medium from MAC. For my setting powder, this is Makeup Forever Pro Finish, and I am in the shade 123. I don't know. Oh no, sorry. I'm in the shade Golden Beige. Yeah, it's called Pro Finish, and of course my trusty NARS Laguna bronzer, and just a little bit of highlight from Hourglass. This is the ambient lighting powder, and I am using the luminous light. So I'm not going to be doing anything to my eyes because this is not really something that I want to do today. I wanted to test the foundation and see if it's gonna last longer and it's gonna look so much better after using a primer and the setting spray. So now we are gonna be using Scandinavia. Yeah. So just okay. So guys, like what I said, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of check-ins today because we're going to be outdoors and we're gonna see Rasselkheimer, and I will apologize in advance because we're gonna be going up the mountain, so there will be, you know, there's gonna be wind and all that, so the audio might not sound so well, but definitely checking in with you guys to see and show you how this foundation wears throughout the day. And from my home to yours, mwah, have a nice day. I'll see you all later. Bye. Check. It's 10:51 in the morning, and I'm just checking in with you guys and showing you how the foundation is looking like on natural light. And on my way here, I was wearing sunglasses, and I don't think there's any marks on the sides of my nose. So this is, I think it looks great, you know, even for day wear. So I'll check again towards the afternoon and show you a little bit of the UAE as well. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hi guys, it's 1:20 and we're not yet at the peak of Jebel Jais, but yeah, just wanted to do a time check with you guys and show you how the foundation is looking. Hi guys, I am back and it is 11:46 in the evening and it has been a long day for me. I was outdoors the whole day. We visited Ras Al Khaimah, one of the Emirates of the UAE, and I was able to finally put Giorgio Armani's Power Fabric Foundation to what I would call the ultimate foundation test, because it was one hell of a day. Aside from the fact that it's long, we had a sandstorm, it rained, and it was very windy when we reached the top of Jebel Jais, which is the highest mountain in the UAE. Now, having said that, what are my final thoughts on this foundation? For the price tag of 260 dirhams and 1 fluid ounce of product, I think the foundation is an absolute worthy of its price tag, and it is a product that I absolutely give my 2 thumbs up on. First is that it has a pump, so it's very hygienic. Now the shade range, I'm not entirely sure. My shade is number 9, which is probably one of the darkest shades of foundation that they currently have. I'll have to double check on that. It doesn't have a scent, so for women who are sensitive to scents, this is very good for you. Now let me start with the finish of the foundation. When you saw me apply it in the morning, you saw that there is still luminosity on my skin and there is sheen, which is not very common when you apply a full coverage foundation. Most of the time when you apply a full coverage foundation, your face becomes flat. That's why you have to put the contour in and the highlight in. It becomes one-dimensional. But with this Power Fabric foundation, it just is luminous, but it covers. So I feel that the coverage is very unique and very versatile, that you can apply one layer, you can go to work, it looks like second skin. Well, it looks like your skin, but only better. I can liken it to a BB cream or a CC cream, and if you want a more doll-like finish to your skin, you can apply another layer. I'm gonna go closer So as you guys can see, none of the products settled on my fine lines, and I only applied one layer, and you can see the broken capillaries of my skin, which is absolutely fine with me. And I think that, and I know actually, that if I apply a second layer, it would have covered my broken capillaries flawlessly. So in the morning, I applied my primer from L'Oreal, and I also used my setting spray from Scandinavia. And as you guys can see, I am oily in some areas, which is something that doesn't bother me. But for a foundation to be subjected to different kinds of weather for that amount of time, I think that it performed really, really well. So as I said earlier, I'm giving this foundation 2 thumbs up. And let me know if you've tried the foundation and how you feel about it. And if there are more products that you wish for me to review, please comment down below. And please follow me on my social media. They're all down below. And incidentally, I'm going to be posting a video on our trip to Ras Al Khaimah, and I hope you guys like it. And it's been a long day, and I can't wait to hit the shower and sleep. I'm training tomorrow morning, so from my home to yours, mwah, I'll see you all soon. Bye.